on, y'all. Come on. Hey. Oh, there we go. We got a little more light. There. Oh, yes. There we go. Oh, yeah. Shalom, family. Listen, welcome. Listen, my daughter did my hair, so it's gonna stay like that.
It's beaded to the top.
It's beaded to the top, okay? Hello, weight on the scalp. Super heavy. But that's neither here or there, y'all. No. Listen, welcome to
Story time. Story time. Story time.
Good to see everybody on this second day. If you don't know, I'm Bonnie G in the place to be.
Hey.
And like I always say, wherever the Ruach is, I just want to be present, okay? And this one over here is none other than Auntie Shelly on the beat. Bum. That's right. Y'all know we no longer do it for ourselves. We got to do it for the community. Because guess what? We're community minded. As were before we weren't. Okay? At least I wasn't. I was all about myself. But I'm not no more. Praise y'all for growth.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, we all were about ourselves at one time.
Because
that's what we were taught.
Absolutely. Okay. Worry about yourself and nobody else. But we don't do that no more. We don't. Listen, we are in the book of Ezra, the fourth book. But before I get into there, let's get into this Maccabees too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because Maccabees be
Macca.
Actually, I wanted to do that scripture that Auntie Linda was talking about. Jasher.
Today?
No. Oh. Another time. Okay, Maccabees. Oh, it's 2. Sorry, so many of them. All right. So Maccabees, the second book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 24, and reads, And the prayer was after this manner. O Yahuwah Elohim, creator of all things, who is fearful and strong and righteous and merciful, and the only and gracious King, the only giver of all things, the only just, almighty, and everlasting, you deliver Yasharel from all trouble, and did choose the fathers and sanctified them. Receive the sacrifice for your whole people, people.
All right.
Right? Receive the sacrifice for your whole people.
And who are the people?
We are.
What is that?
Yasharel, okay? And guard your own portion and sanctify it. Gather those together that are scattered from us. Deliver them that serve among the heathen. Look upon them that are despised and abhorred. And let the heathen know that you are our Elohim. Punish them that oppress us, and with pride do us wrong. Plant your people again in your holy place, as Moshe has spoken it. Hallelujah. Come on with the whole people, okay?
Whole people, that's right.
Not a half of people, okay?
Whole people.
The whole people. I'm with that. Shalom, family. Listen, we are in the fourth book of Ezra. And I know you're looking for it, but don't look for it in your regular Bible, okay? No shade. Don't trip. There's plenty of trees, but no shade. But listen, you can only get the fourth book of Ezra in the Sefer. So you have to go to sefer.net and to buy that, but I wouldn't recommend you buying it full price. Don't do that. There's a whole discount for you, I promise. Listen, remember the O in the word story is actually a 0, and the E in the word time is actually a 3 as a reminder to going back to the covenant. Okay, hoodie, I see what you do. What a beautiful reminder, okay? Use that discount because it is for you. All right? With that being said, let's get into the fourth book of Ezra. Shalom, pray boy. I just like saying it because it's just a dope username.
Yeah, I hope you know where we at. I got my little card right here, but I forgot to turn the thing over.
I was using my app and my phone.
Shiny, you there?
Nope.
Okay, I can figure it out.
What chapter are we on?
I think
you guys, I'm so sorry. I was using my
Anybody
phone.
Remember? I think we in
And as you guys know, Mondays we don't really have a recap because we didn't went through the Sabbath and then we had the first day and now we're on the second day. Where was your thing at 14? I'll start at 14.
I'm going to somewhere right here.
I'm seeing the
Let me look at the end. Then when I went further to the field.
Oh, remember he had that vision of the bird. Oh, hold on. We want to know where we at. Sorry, y'all. This is coming off.
Did we finish the bird?
No, because he was breaking it down from what everything meant. I'm going from so I lied on accident. We on 13.
Yeah,
no, we on 13.
Here.
Okay, yes. I'm going from it was easier.
Did we do the interpretation? Are we on 21?
That's what I was looking at too. I'm just gonna go from 13, y'all. Y'all don't mind, right? Shalom, family. Because it was a lot. Okay, so this was so Ezra, remember y'all told him to, I guess you're getting a recap. Y'all told him to meet him in the field, eat only the flowers on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he did that, he met this woman and she was like burdened about losing her son. Mm-hmm. But the woman represent Yasharel or the city?
I think the city.
The city. And her son dying represent the sins that they turned to. Something like that. This is why you guys got to go on the fourth thing. Because don't get me lying on accident. I don't mean it. Mm-hmm. So anywho, he basically checked the woman. And then he goes into another trance. And he has this other vision about the eagle, like the bird. Mm-hmm. And the bird has 3 heads and heck of feathers. And they all represent something. So I'm going to go into the 13th chapter of the 4th book of Ezra.
So did we talk about this dream?
No,
that's the man. We don't dream about the man. We did the birds.
We did the birds. So we're gonna go on 13.
Remember, it was the man. There was wind from the sea. The man was strong.
Don't worry, we're gonna get into it.
Okay,
we're gonna get into it. So whether you don't have a physical book, don't worry. If you got an app, you can download the St0ryTim3. It's the best $21.99 you'll ever spend in your entire life.
We'll make sure we'll mark it today.
Yeah, we will.
Make sure I'll mark it.
All right, let's go. 6:11. All right, I'll give y'all till 7:11. Give y'all 11 minutes back. All right, chapter 13. And it came to pass after 7 days. Remember, because he had to go back. Mm-hmm. And and the people came was like, "Where you at?" Yeah. So he's been gone this entire time, and the people like, "Where you been? You said to wait 7 days. It's been like a whole 2 weeks." Mm-hmm. All right. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that a man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth fails when it feels the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the 4 winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet dared fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lip a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of the fire, the flaming breath, and the greatest tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. And when I saw this, I was afraid.
I guess so.
Y'all, who do y'all think this represents?
Oh, Mashiach for sure. Well,
He came from
only
the
because
sea.
this is the it's in Revelation that all he's going to do is speak and destroy everybody. But I like how this goes into how it's how he spoke, how he sounded, and all that.
Y'all know what I was thinking? I was thinking this beast was from the marine kingdom, right? And in my mind, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, because this one is arose a wind from the sea.
I'm going to just go ahead and put this ladder away. But I thought he was somebody from the marine kingdom and that he was beating up every y'all's chosen people. And then y'all was going to send somebody down to defeat him.
Yeah, he did. So the people came against him with all their instruments of war. That's like when they talk about the Battle of Armageddon, and all the nations are going to come together in that valley, or the Valley of Megiddo. I think it's the same place. They're all going to come together against him, and he's just going to speak, and they're just going to be gone.
Oh, wow.
Just like when he was in the garden and they came to get him. And I think all he did was speak, and then they all fell out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, listen. He was afraid. Okay, Ezra was afraid. Afterwards, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. And there came many people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, You have showed your servant these wonders from beginning, and have counted me worthy that you should receive my prayer. Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream. For as I conceived in my understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind. So that's what he thought it meant. Okay. For they that were not left were in heaviness. Now understand I the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them, and to those that are left behind. Therefore are they come into a great perils and many necessities, like as these dreams declare. Yet is it easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world and not see the things that happened in the last days. And he answered unto me and said, The interpretation of the vision shall I show you, and I will open unto you the things that you have required. Whereas you have spoken of them that are left behind, this is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time has kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith towards Al Shaddai. Know this therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead. This is the meaning of the vision. Whereas you saw a man coming up from the midst of the sea, the same is he whom Al-Yan has kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind. And whereas you saw that out of his mouth there came as a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation. That was right. Behold, the days come when Al-Yan will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed you before. And then shall my son, capital S, be declared, whom you saw as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have won against another. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as you saw them willing to come, and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, and Zion shall come, and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and built, like as you saw the hill graven without hands. And this, my son, capital S, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their sake, for their wicked life, are fallen into the tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the Torah, which is like unto me. And whereas you saw that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Husha the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Ashur led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wait, I gotta.
Yeah, you process it.
Because, okay, so he's saying there's a whole bunch of nations against each other, a whole bunch of nations, people, da, 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 da. But when he comes, they're all, even though they disagree with each other, when he comes, they're going to go, there he goes. And they're going to agree to come together to defeat him, even though they don't like each other. Like,
got you.
Think of the countries that don't like each other. Well, but he here now, we need to forget our differences and go fight against him. That's when he opens up his mouth. He defeats them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the 10, like, so, and he's saying at that time, I'm going to bring the other 10 tribes back. Because remember, it was split between northern and southern.
Yes.
Remember, the northern went first, but they never really came back.
Mm-hmm.
Just the southern kingdom. So he says, then at that time, those are the peaceable multitude you saw come after I defeated.
Yes,
those
nations, so that was the 10 tribes.
That's the 10 tribes that went away, the northern kingdom.
Yes,
they finally come back. So there's like this. You know what?
I got to put this together in my mind where.
Yeah, because now I'm really starting to grasp like the significance of Judah. We really do have to lead out. We really do have to be the first on the scene. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're not coming till later. He's not bringing all those 10 back until later. I might have to go read this like a couple of times. Like,
this is something that I gotta listen, and y'all know we don't read this.
He's putting it in the timeline. Yeah, he's putting it in the this gonna happen and this and this and this.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be this war. All the nations are gonna come together to try to defeat me. They're not. That's Armageddon. That's the battle of Armageddon. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because that's when they're all saying, "Let us go out to defeat him," and that's when he talks, and they're just the words of his mouth. He defeats them by the words of his mouth. That's in see, it even has a reference to Revelation 19. So the wicked are fallen. The peaceable nation, those are the 10 tribes. which were carried away prisoner in the time of that's back then when they got carried away. That's who was the
Wow.
king. And he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land.
That was the southern tribe.
That was the northern. The southern is
Okay.
Judah.
Okay.
That's why I always say I'm from the south side.
You right about that. You ain't never lied.
That's the northern kingdom.
Okay.
He's bringing them back. So he's bringing them back to the land, but maybe they've already woke up wherever they were. Wait,
I don't know.
look, y'all.
We
may have to. I might
have to digest this again and read it again. But y'all know we read
but
this with
some of y'all caught it. But that's kind of
Please
like,
pass it. If you caught it, pass it in that chat so we can all learn from each other.
It's in that little timeline, yeah. But maybe we'll get it in the rest.
Okay, Father, give me understanding, please.
Please.
Where are we?
41.
Okay. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Yep, that's what it says in there.
Mm-hmm.
That they might there guard their statues, which they never kept in their own land.
Okay, no, keep reading. Keep
and they entered into Parath by the narrow places of the river. For Alyan then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arzaroth. Then dwelt they there until the latter time. And now, when they shall begin to come, Alyan shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore say you the multitude with peace. Okay. Saw you the multitude of peace.
So when he's talking about those that are left behind, I think he's talking about those 10 tribes.
But they said that those that left behind, they were the ones that are blessed,
are
right?
more blessed than they that be dead. Yeah. So, because they're still alive to see it and witness it.
And they're part of the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
They're part of the 12.
Right? And I'm thinking this might have double meaning. Just like we have double meaning with that's not, slavery is kind of double meaning, kind of not. Because I'm thinking, okay, because so the 10 tribes go to the north. Like they take them up until like kind of where Russia, Turkey, all that stuff is right now.
Now, are you speaking north. From like how they flip the map, like the correction, or you just talking about as we know it now?
You must have knew him. Yeah, as we know it now.
Yeah, okay.
Because you must have knew I was thinking about that map, but I was going to just throw everybody off.
Yeah, that's fine.
But think about the map as it's up. Because it says they took counsel among themselves. They're leaving the heathen. So they're saying they're at war. We're going to take advantage and we leaving up out of here. Like they're leaving Babylon. Except for there's a Babylon. Right. It's something else.
And this is the northern tribe that's saying they're leaving the heathen.
Right. The 10 northern tribes. This is like kind of their awakening, so to speak.
Okay.
And so they go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. So they are passing over to a country, and they're also talking about like a river that it took them a year and a half. Elias shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore saw you the multitude with peace. So in other words, there's some kind of water he's going to dry up to let them pass through. And we know that happens. Like everybody knows because they don't tell us this. Remember how we said Russia and the United States is really kind of close because you can cross over, get to Alaska and come down. So they're going to a land nobody has ever lived in before.
But that makes sense because on Alaska, that wall outside of it is a whole bunch of land, untouched land.
So they. So yeah, so they went. Yeah, and it talks of narrow places. So he's bringing. So this is. They either came through up there where Russia and all that is. You know, they didn't stay in Alaska because they know that's not their land. Alaska's cold, which means it belongs to Japheth. But if you come down into the United States, that belongs to Shem, although it's not called the United States.
Yes.
And we know that when Columbus came over here, he had to bring a Hebrew interpreter.
Yes.
So the first people on American, so to speak, soil were Hebrews from the 10 tribes. That's what it sounded like.
Y'all get into these comments.
Because this is Shem's land. Like when you look at the map of how it's supposed to be, this belongs to Shem. It's a place where it's neither hot nor cold.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dive into it. Yeah, y'all dive into it.
Because you see us having this conversation, we try to make it make sense, y'all. So if you already got the sense that's made, just share it,
please. Because it sounds like, it sounds like he's doing like a double thing. Like, okay, I called them back then too to get up out of there because they take advantage because your kings are at war. Get up out of there. They left up out of there because it ain't like a bunch of Hebrews hanging around in Russia and all that. But I looked at this documentary about Russia and all that, and it shows where like Russia has all these beautiful buildings, and he said, but when you see pictures of those old buildings, you never see people on the streets.
Wow.
He's like, look at all these pictures. You never see people on the streets. That's because they left. And all these big buildings, they were saying, like all these big Catholic churches and these abbeys that are built in England were really generators built by somebody who was there before, and they have free electricity, free all that, because they were really generate. It's really interesting why they call it like Catholic and Cathode and all that, and that's why they're saying that's why in some places in New York or just other places you can see where there's a basement, but there's like half of a window because they tried to flood the town because they got rid of the people trying to flood the town to hide the fact that they already had all this power. And so they would make sense because remember the Hebrews used to rule Russia. Yeah.
You can find that in From Babylon to Timbuktu too.
Yeah, so I'm trying to put all this together and process it.
I am too. I'm trying to see it, y'all. It's hard for me to see it because I'm just a picture person, but
and see, they always change the names. Where the heck is Ezra?
I'm like, this sounded like a whole lot of Harry Potter to me, but I know it ain't. That name,
because you know they do they do everything to hide stuff from us.
Absolutely.
Because where this place at right now? It ain't called this.
No.
They be changing the names.
Okay, let's get into it. Let me see. What verse again? Multitude of peace.
Yeah, 48.
Okay, verse 48, and we're still in chapter 13, the fourth Ezra. All right. But those that be left behind of your people are they that are found within my borders. Now, when he destroys the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. And then shall he show them great wonders. Then said I, O Yahuwah Adonai, show me this. Wherefore have I seen the man coming up from the midst of the sea? And he said unto me, like as you can neither seek out nor know the things that are in the deep of the sea, even so can no man upon the earth see my son, capital S, or those that be with him, but in the daytime. This is the interpretation of the dream which you saw, and whereby you only are here lightened. For you have forsaken your own way, and applied your diligence unto my Torah, and sought it. Your life you shall have order in wisdom, and have called understanding your mother. And therefore have I showed you the treasures of Al-Yan. After another 3 days, I will speak other things unto you, and declare unto you mighty and wondrous things. Then went I forth into the field, giving praise and thanks greatly unto Al-Yan, because of his wonders which he did in time, and because he governs the same, and such things as fall in their season. And there I sat 3 days. Yeah, I need to keep reading because I don't understand.
Yeah, because look, so right here it says, but those that are left behind of your people are they that are found within my borders, which means
in the land that
it has to be in Shem. It has to be in Shem. Like wherever these peoples are that came up, they're inside of Shem's borders because Shem got the cream of the crop, the middle of the earth.
Yes.
It may not, because just think about it. We got scattered, we got carried away captive, but we still went into a land that is good for us. Yeah. Our skin. It's neither hot nor cold. We can take this heat. Yeah. He didn't take us to this cold place. Right. He took us still to a place where we can survive. Absolutely. So it could be Brazil for all I know, but that's part of America, what we call America. It wasn't split up like it. Yeah.
I need your understanding. Yeah. I need you to give it to me because I'm just reading.
Yeah. Just don't make us go sit in the field. I'll fast.
Right. I'll fast for it. But don't have me eating flowers. Well, you know what?
Some edible flowers are really good. Come think of like Felicia and Linda turned me off. I was like, you can't eat that. Really? They were like, yeah. We had a prayer breakfast sometime. We had chicken and waffles, and they put flowers on it. So this is cute. They said those is edible flowers. I ate them too. They was good.
Okay. Well, listen. Listen, you talk about a field and anywho. Chapter 14. Father, give me understanding, please. And it can't. That's how I really talk to him, y'all.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't have time to be on my knees and going like this.
You ain't gotta do all that.
Father,
right
please
there.
give me understanding. Because I don't want to just read without understanding. You know,
yeah,
wisdom, where you at?
Sometimes, like just like Ezra, do you really want to know? And he make you struggle. Like if you really want to know, you're gonna keep looking. Yeah, we gonna keep looking.
We're gonna keep looking. Wisdom, girl, come on, girl. Get in this. Get
come
inside
on, sit right here.
Right. Get into these. Let's make room for wisdom. Come on, we need you, girl. All right, get into these brain cells. All right, chapter 14. And it came to pass upon the 3rd day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me and said, Ezra, Ezra. And I said, here am I, Yahuwah. And I stood up upon my feet. Then said he unto me, in the thorn bush I did manifest, reveal myself unto Moshe.
Oh, it was a thorn bush. Okay.
Because it's always just been a burning bush. But you know what's crazy? Well, let me see if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me
the ram in the bush?
Nope.
I think he was caught in a thorn bush too. It was a thicket.
It was.
Ain't that a thorn bush?
Yeah, that's a thorn bush. But I was thinking about the thorn and what you call it side.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah, but that don't have nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was just his business. That's
it wasn't like a real thorn inside. It was
let me.
But still, thorn. Still a thorn.
And the crown of thorns
is still something.
And he spoke to using a thorn bush. I mean, let me put this ladder away.
In the thorn bush, for some reason, the I is capital. In the middle of the sentence.
You are absolutely right. All right. Then said he unto me, in the thorn bush, I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moshe and talked with him when my people served in Egypt or Mizraim. And I sent him and led my people out of Mizraim or Egypt and brought him up to the mount where I held him by me a long season, and told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, These words shall you declare, and these shall you hide. And now I say unto you, that you lay up in your heart the signs that I have showed, and the dreams that you have seen, and the interpretations which you have heard. For you shall be taken away from all, and from henceforth you shall remain with my Son, capital S,
Mm-hmm.
and with such as be like you, until the times be ended. For the world has lots of you, lost. I'm sorry. For the world has lost its youth, and the times begin wax old. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of a 10th part.
So that's a timeline. So he says, I divided this timeline into 12 parts. 10 and a half are gone already.
Okay.
So, and he's telling them, but you're not, when it comes to the last days, you're not going to be here.
Okay. Let's see. And there remains, verse 12, and there remains that which is after the half of the 10th part. Now therefore set your house in order, and reprove your people, comfort such of them as be in trouble. And now renounce corruption. Let go from your mortal thoughts. Cast away your burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. Set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto you. And haste you to flee these times. For yet greater evils than those which you have seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. So much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. For the time is fled far away, and falsehood is hard at hand. For now hasten the vision to come, which you have seen.
He just straight tell them the world's going to get worse and worse. Just like you saw it get worse just in your time, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
But basically, set your house in order.
Yeah. Yes. While you here.
While you here.
Because you don't know when he calls.
And you know what's crazy is we are actually getting this, like what was pent up and closed for years. Mm-hmm. You never heard of for the book. Well, for me, I'm only 36, but I've never heard of this. Why such a time now?
Because it's truth.
It's true.
It's true.
And now we're getting everything that was told that was uninspired now in this time.
Because he even was telling him, it's some things I talked to Moses about, y'all don't even know about.
Yes.
I told him some things and some things I said. Keep it to yourself.
And some things that he taught, like just like when he did with, what's the one that hid the scroll under his house? Paul. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Paul. Bad boy. And we were able to get that. Mm-hmm. And just from Moshe, his books, we were able to get all the stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff is being revealed. And it's up to you to figure out what you want to do with this.
If you want to know, it's here.
It's really
because it really has been sort of, because even when you think about like 70s and all that, when we listened to some of this music and we knew that some people knew it just wasn't time for it to come out all the way. But for those of who wanted the truth back then, he gave them enough to go on.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is so crazy.
It's just like, remember when before Moshe, before he took Moshe up, Moshe had got to go up into the mountain. We thinking he looking at the promised land.
Yeah.
He's showing him the whole New Jerusalem.
Yep. He sure did.
Moshe said, that's what I'm looking for. Abraham too. That's what they saw.
They didn't
the city not made by the hands of man. And we up here thinking he just want to see the promised land. He said, no, I want to see the promised land. Capital T.
Yeah. Let me see it.
I want to see the golden city.
Wow. What a powerful vision. If you want it, he'll show you.
Wow.
If he deem you worthy.
He said, Ezra, but you finna come with me. So get it together, warn the people, let's roll.
Well, y'all listen. I'll tell you this, okay? Now, therefore, set your house in order and reprove your people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from your mortal thoughts. Cast away your burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto you, and haste you to flee from these times. For yet greater evil than those which you have seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. So much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. For the time is fled far away, and falsehood is hard at hand. For now hasten the vision to come which you have seen. Then answered I before you, and said, Behold, Yahuwah, I will go as you have commanded me, and reprove the people which are present. But they that shall be born afterwards, who shall admonish them? Thus the world is set in darkness, and they that dwell therein are without light. For your Torah, capital T, is burnt. Therefore no man knows the things that are done of you, or the work that shall begin. But if I have found grace before you, send your Ruach HaKodesh into me, and I shall write all that has been done in the world since the beginning, which were written in your Torah, that men may find your path, and that they which will live in the latter days may live. And he answered me, saying, Go your way, gather the people together, and say unto them that they seek you not for 40 days. He said, tell your people don't look for you for 40 days.
Because he know them people is looking.
But that's so crazy. Adam and Eve had 40 days. Mashiach had 40. Now he's sending Ezra 40. Because they was in the water.
Yes.
Remember, they was in the water.
Yep.
Well, yeah. And who had 38?
And Noah, 40.
Yep, 40. Wow. Okay. He said, tell them people not to be looking for you for 40 days.
Because they was...
Yeah, they kept bothering him. All right. Where am I?
24.
And he answered me, saying, Go your way, gather the people together, and say unto them that they seek you not for 40 days, but look prepared you many box trees, and take with you St0ryTim3, Debria, Shalim. Let me see.
It looks like
Shalim Yahu. Ethan. Yep, Ethan. And let me see. I see these 5 which are ready to write swiftly. And come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding in your heart, which shall not be put out till the things be performed which you shall begin to write. And when you have done, some things you shall publish, and some things you shall show secretly to the wise. Tomorrow, this hour, shall you begin to write. Then went I forth, as he commanded, and gathered all the people together, and said, Hear these words, O Yasharel. Our fathers at the beginning were strangers in Egypt, from whence they were delivered, and received the Torah of life, which they kept not, which ye also have transgressed after them. Then was the land, even the land of Zion, parted among you by lot. But your fathers, and ye yourselves, have done unrighteousness, and have not kept the ways which El-Elyon commanded you. And for as much as he is a righteous judge, he took from you in time the thing that he had given you. And now are ye here, and your brethren among you. Therefore, if it so be that ye will subdue your own understanding, and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. For after death shall the judgment come. when we shall live again, then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the wicked shall be declared. Excuse me. Let no man therefore come unto me now, nor seek after me these 40 days. So I took the 5 men, as he commanded me, and we went into the field and remained there. And the next day, behold, a voice called me, saying, Ezra, open your mouth and drink that I give you to drink. Then I opened my mouth, and behold, he reached me a full cup, which was full as it were with water, but the color of it was fire. And I took it and drank it. And when I had drunk of it, my heart uttered understanding, and wisdom grew in my breast, for my ruach strengthened my memory. And my mouth was opened and shut no more. Al Alyan gave understanding unto the 5 men, and they wrote the wonderful visions of the night that were told, which they knew not. And they sat 40 days, and they wrote in the day, and at night they ate bread. As for me, I spoke the day, and I held not my tongue by night. In 40 days they wrote 92 Sephirim. You know what made me think of this? The book of Eli. Remember when Denzel got
92? I got 94.
92. But it made me think of the book of Eli at the end when he was sharing everything.
They had all them books.
And he was laying down, and Denzel Washington was going from memory.
Yep.
And verse 45. And it came to pass, when the 40 days were filled, that Al Alyan spoke, saying, the first that you have written, publish openly, that the worthy and unworthy may read it. But keep the 70 last, that you may deliver them only to such as be wise among the people. For in them is the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the stream of knowledge. And I did so.
So he basically Yahuwah said, I'm going to give the basic things to everybody. So everyone will have a chance to obey my Torah, to come to me.
Think of it like the 66 books.
Yep.
That's the basic. That's the bare
but
minimum.
the rest of them, only for the wise. Only for those that seek the truth. Wow.
Wow. Chapter 15. Behold, in the ears of my people, the words of prophecy, which I will put in your mouth, says Yahuwah, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against you. Let not the incredulity. This word is spelled Incredulity. You're welcome. All right. Of them troubled you, that speaks against you. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, says Yahuwah, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, says Yahuwah, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood cries unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, says Yahuwah, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and a smite Egypt with plagues, as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment that Elohim shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Wait, going back to
11 stood out to me because he's talking about again.
That's where I'm at too. I keep hearing them saying, "Go back to that again.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the again." I was like,
because they already have come out of Egypt a long time ago.
But then what it says, and I will
the plagues.
No, into Egypt again.
Are you looking for Deuteronomy?
That's in Deuteronomy, right? He said,
well, I'll take them to again in slave ships or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, and he said, "I'm gonna bring them out again."
Again. So we've been one. And
in
then
order
you know
to get
how,
out again, there has to be a first time.
Yep, and it happened. And you know, this land is referred as in Egypt.
Yep. Yeah, because they got all the symbols here. They got a whole big old Bank of America pyramid downtown.
They show
that pyramid building.
Wow. Oh, they sure do.
Mm-hmm.
The Morgan goes on to say the plagues are hitting right now. Absolutely.
Yes.
Especially like the big old hailstorms that they're not putting on this TV because they don't want y'all to know. Because y'all they don't want you, connect the dots.
Yep.
Big old hailstorms. China and all this stuff that's going down. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, and even like that video that Linda was showing, how it was fire. Yes. And they tried to say, okay, no, that's that hail hitting that ground, becoming fire. Becoming
fire. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go on to the cryofjudah.org and look at our Sabbath meetings, and it's all recorded during that. Okay.
Yeah. And this gives me a whole new understanding about these books. So we have all these books that Ezra wrote. 90-something
books, yes.
And Yahuwah's straight telling us they ain't for everybody.
Nope.
They're not for. So when people say they don't want to read it, it ain't for them.
Yeah, that's right.
They ain't ready.
That's right.
No, I'm not throwing no shade. I'm not throwing no. They're not ready.
And that's okay.
Yeah, because they'll just look at it and still find fault. And they won't get out what they need to get out.
Mm-hmm. That's all right.
But Jasher, Jubilee, and Enoch, he put in the ones for you to get. Because they were in the original, but even then
they took them out and just gave you bare bones. But it was enough. Just like you didn't have none of that.
Right.
You didn't have none of it when he told you, you're Hebrew.
Yeah.
You have the regular 66 book.
Regular 66.
But it was something in you that was seeking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So these books are here for those that want it.
Yep.
If you want it, come find me.
It's not. That means there's some books out there.
It's some right. And it makes sense because when people are referring to other books, we're like, well, I ain't heard that book.
Yeah. Where'd that come from?
It's so many books out there.
I bet each of those 12 wrote a book.
Absolutely. Because why? What's his name? The one that said I find no fault. He got a book.
Pilate, yeah.
Pilate has a
book.
book.
Even got a witness.
Right. He has a witness. I'm sure. Didn't Thomas was in the Pilate one, but he
seemed like he would have wrote something too. I wouldn't be surprised if Judas wrote something.
Hey, I heard that Judas has a book.
I would not be surprised, and that would be one they would probably really keep from us.
Because Judas,
especially if he wrote it right after the betrayal, before he hung himself.
Because he was a picture of Judah.
Mm-hmm. He probably got some real juicy stuff if he wrote it down.
Oh yes, oh yeah. Okay.
There's some other books out there.
It's so many books out there, y'all. Oh my goodness. And that's the treasure.
That's our inheritance.
That's our inheritance.
And we're busy chasing money.
I ain't got time to chase money. All right. Verse 17, okay? Or 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Wow. Behold, says Elohim, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them.
Turn them on themselves again. Remember, he do that a lot.
He sure do. We
I ain't
see
got
that.
time to fight y'all. Just fight each other.
Y'all fight each other. I ain't got time. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus says Yahuwah Elohim, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and has consumed the foundation of the earth. And the sinners, like the straw that is kindled, woe to them that sin, and guard not my commandments. Whoa, that was an exclamation there.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Says Yahuwah, I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary, for Yahuwah knows all of them that sin against him. And therefore delivers he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For Elohim shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nation of the dragons of Arav shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear they may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of Ashur. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled, bled, and kept silence through the power, and shall flee. And from the land of Ashur shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread, strife among their kings. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly.
I think the swords is the fallen. Because
Mm.
remember, they letting them all out.
Ooh.
They really ain't our friend. They ain't my friend
They ain't my
anyway.
friend
But y'all think they your friend.
Mm-mm.
They're not your friend.
Mm-mm. And dung of the men unto the camel's hoe. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid. And trembling shall come upon them. And then shall there come great storms from the south, and from the north, another part from the west. and strong winds shall arise from the east and shall open it. And the cloud which raised up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear towards the east, and the west wind shall be destroyed. The great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up, full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein. And they shall pour out over every high and intimate place a horrible star, fire and hail and flying swords and many waters, that all the fields may be full and all rivers, with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls and mountains and hills and trees of the wood and grass of the meadows and their grain. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babel and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her, the star, and all the wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and the smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And you, Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babel, and are the glory of her persons, woe be unto you, you wench, you wretch, because you have made yourself like unto her, and have decked your daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in your lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with you. You have followed her, that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore says Elohim, I will send plagues upon you, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, pestilence, to waste your houses with destruction and death. And the glory of your power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over you. You shall be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive you. Would I, with jealousy, have so proceeded against you, says Yahuwah? If you had not always slain my chosen, exalted the stroke of your hand, and saying over their dead, when you were drunken, set forth the beauty of your countenance. The reward of your whoredom shall be in your bosom. Therefore shall you receive recompense. Like as you have done unto my chosen, says Yahuwah, even so shall Elohim allow us to find out tomorrow at 6 p.m.
It's all bad for people that's treating us wrong. Like, he is not playing.
All bad.
It's all bad. Oh, you did this to my people?
You thought I forgot. That's what you thought. You thought I didn't notice?
Yeah. Watch.
You thought I didn't hear their blood cry?
Watch
You thought
this.
I didn't hear their complaints?
Mm-hmm.
He said, the righteous complain.
And they coming for you. And not only are you going to be punished, the things you've done to my people, I'm going to do for you. But the people turning against you are the people you thought was for you.
That's right.
You all waiting for them watchers with your CERNs and your telescopes and opening up your portals for them to come through. And they coming for you.
Coming straight up.
They can't touch us. They coming for you. You're going to be in misery. You're going to live in the world you created.
Where's
That's
our
to
pen?
be more careful. I know, right?
Where our pen? Because we ain't going to start and be trying to figure out where we at. We making a mark right now. Because, wow.
This too much.
Ooh-wee.
Too much.
Right, it's too much. Okay. So we on chapter 15.
Yeah, where we leave? Oh.
56.
Okay.
Ooh, come on, Ezra. Ooh, wee.
He covered with the goods.
So y'all see that? I made a mark. You can't see that.
We on 1556.
To y'all be the glory. I praise him that we have the victory. We are not forgotten. He hears us and he sees all.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm praying that the Most High will continue to give us understanding as we get more into this book, y'all. But with that being said, shalom.
Shalom.
And listen, guard that. Guard the commandments.
Guard
Stay
it.
under his covenant, y'all. Because y'all saw.
Yeah, because y'all see Ezra don't miss no words. You a whore.
He said you didn't even guard the
Committing
commandments.
whoredoms.
Guard them. They your lifeline, okay?
Don't do it. I mean, guard the covenant. Don't do the other stuff.
Yeah, don't do that.
Come out of her.
My people, okay? My chosen, my elect, okay? Come out of her. That being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Wow.
That one was tough.